If you want to learn how to use this jig, this is the right place for you to be. I have some tips on making your process more efficient and the result more accurate. You will see how I use this jig and what I have built with it. Watch till the end to learn everything I know. Today's episode is sponsored by Pink Unicorn. But first thing first, I had a media wall project in my mind, and I will be building one of the floating shelves today, of course using the dowel jig. This is how I plan my floating shelves to look, but after seeing it in real life, I've decided that it's too deep and that it's better to have two shallow shelves than one very deep. At that time I didn't have a proper table saw, so I just used a cordless circular saw, and I've cut all the pieces into two. Of course, the cut edges weren't perfect, so I've put the bad ones on the back. Tip number 1. The first step of the process is to decide which side of the boards should be inside and which outside. The plywood boards have some flaws, so I wanted to decide what will be seen and what will stay close to the wall. I've marked the inside and outside faces to use for further reference. It's also good to mark all corners where boards met, otherwise you will either make a mistake or lose time while drilling and setting up the jig. I've built most of my media wall cabinets and floating shelves with this Woolcraft jig. I use 11/16 inch boards and 5/16 dowels for all my projects. I'm starting with longer boards on my table. The outside facet is visible from the top, and then I'm clamping the jig. Try to fit everything as flush and accurately as possible. I'm looking at the sideboards and ensuring I do everything correctly. Look at the numbers, they match, so it's good. It was my second time when I was using the jig, and it was still confusing for me. I wanted to have a good result, so it's always better to check twice than make any error like I did when creating previous floating shelves. If you want to see what kind of mistake I made with this jig, related video should pop up somewhere now. This one is almost good, but the inside-outside facets are mismatched, so I need to flip the boards. Final check with square, make it tight, and we can drill. Tip number 2. When drilling the sides, check the depth to avoid making a hole through the other side. The depth is not so important in the long boards, but there is no point in overkilling it. Tip number 3. I'm doing this trick to avoid moving the boards. If you move the pieces a little, your dowel holes will be off. This tool is for amateurs, so don't expect high quality results. Depending on your precision, the final product will be either good or bad. You can clearly see that the facing side is ultimately inside the cube. Tip number 4. Wrap the clamps with tape, otherwise they will make a hole or scratch the board. After flipping the sides, I'm looking for the correct number. If you have perfect material, you don't care what side is where. It will be faster for you to skip this step. This corner has got 3 on the sides, so it's good to drill. Now you see that the surface is not so nice, so I wanted to have it inside the cube, not outside. Frankly speaking, this metal stop is not so great. I need to tighten it. And moving to next side. Now you must be careful, as one bore is fresh and we already have holes in the second. Match the numbers again, this time number 2 is our star. The last side and we can move on. That is cool. We have all the holes ready. We can do a dry assembly to ensure all the pieces are straight and everything is good. I lost my hammer somewhere and I'm using not so professional pliers. This is what the wall cube looks like. I need to add some glue and wait. After disassembling all sides, I added glue to the dowels. Just 1 drop for each hole. After that, you need to clamp everything tight. I haven't recorded this step, unfortunately. All the corners are matched. And this is what it looks like. There are small gaps, but after sanding and varnishing, I can enjoy another piece for my media wall. I've also used this method for other shelves, cabinets and cubes. This is a cheap dowel jig. It's not perfect, but it does the work. The results are not always good, depending on how much time you spend on fitting and how much attention you put into the process. If you would ask me if I would repurchase this jig, it depends. For what I'm doing, it's fine, but for someone who will use it often, I would invest in something more accurate and easy to use. Peace!